Welcome to Kats Creations live on a Friday night, where tonight I'm super excited to show you something new. I've been asked for a long time to show people how to do the Dollar Tree cross wreaths. Here's the thing though, the Dollar Tree forms for the crosses, either they're not available at Dollar Tree yet, and they will be coming at some point later, or you're gonna have to get really creative on where you purchase them from. When I purchased mine, it was during Christmas. So I happened to come across one tucked in their arts and crafts section. And so I had one and I was like, okay, I get asked to do this. We'll just do the one and then we'll be good. Well, I really like this design and can totally see this done in a wide variety of different color palettes. So if you saw my post from earlier showing you what I called the mock-up, I basically played with the design until I could create it. I didn't glue anything in, very carefully took it, kind of propped it up on my door and shot a photo to kind of show you what we're going to be making tonight. So let me go over housekeeping first. So if you want to be notified when I go live, all you have to do is click the like and follow button on this page. Just really simple. And then once you've done that, you're going to go up to the upper right hand corner, 3 dots. You're going to go ahead and select all posts and not just highlighted posts. If you like this design and want to replicate it, when you find a cross frame somewhere, go ahead and click the share button. It'll share it to your page. Much easier to find for you when you're ready to go ahead and replicate the design. Or you can always go to my YouTube channel, which is KatsCreationsNMore on YouTube, and the videos are cataloged in the order they're created. So this would hopefully be fairly at the top. If you're new, let us know. We'd like to welcome you. A lot of times you make creative connections here by finding people in your same city, which is amazing. So always let us know where you're from, because then you'll probably get somebody replying to your message saying, oh my God, hey, we're buddies in the same city. And I think that is it, right? Was there anything else I needed to add that you can think of?
I think that's it.
Okay, so I covered all my housekeeping things. So who's joining us?
We have a scroll up top. Patty, Barbara, Melinda, Regina, Kathleen, Mary, Ruth, Lynn, Deborah, Virginia, Patty, Yuli, Joe, Bobby, another Patty, Stormy, Gail, Terry, Nita, Monica, and many, many more gals. And Kathy Nonklerg and Karen, hi all.
Okay, so here is the Dollar Tree cross frame. So for those of you that want to know what the item number is, I checked before we went live. I went everywhere. I looked on the Wreath Shop. I looked on Craft Outlet. I looked at anyone who was doing cross forms, and they might have them, but they're a little bigger. And you'll start to see what the problem is if you go any larger. And this one goes, this is exactly 24 inches at the longest point. So I believe the ones I was seeing was like 27 inches, 31 inches and longer. It's great if you want to make it just for your home and you don't have to worry about shipping. For me, this is pretty much going to be like right at the point that it could become an issue. So you don't want to go too big, too wide, too fluffy, because you're going to run into problems with shipping. So it's 24 inches long. It is 12 inches at its widest point, just the frame point. And like I said, the SKU number on this, or the item number, is 262782. And like I said, it's just called cross-shaped wreath form. So
From Dollar Tree, right?
From Dollar Tree, right. So I'm thinking that they'll come out. They're just not on their website as of yet. So I'm going to show you how to wire this for the design that I showed you earlier, if you were able to capture this. So each of these sections, and you can see I've done some in white already, you're going to basically put 4 half pipe cleaners in every single section. So there's a total of 6 sections. I think there's 1, 2, 3, here's 4, 5, and then 6. You're not going to do anything with the middle. So we space out our pipe cleaners, and you'll see as we start to put the deco mesh on, it's gonna kind of fluctuate, it's gonna move, but once we add in the column of florals, it's gonna solidify and hold everything together. So 4 in this section, 4 in this section, and I'm only wiring it to the 2 center. As you can see that there's a center piece here. So we're just wiring the 2 middle. We're leaving the outside pieces alone. So I'm gonna show you how to do the last 4. So we're taking half a pipe cleaner, so about 6 inches, and you are going to try to keep them even. It kind of pays off in the end because you're using very little space to tie your deco mesh on. So I'm going to move this one all the way to the end, and then I'll do another one kind of right in the middle. You could zip tie these on, but keep in mind that, you know, the Dollar Tree wreath frames, they have a tendency, if you zip tie them a little too tight, they could snap. So I just prefer to use my pipe cleaners. So as you can see, it goes right up to the cross right in the center, and we're not doing anything to the center. It's actually going to be left open.
Hi everyone joining. Seems like there's a lot of new people coming on, so thank you all for watching. Let us know what city and state you guys are coming from. Renee, I replied to you about the closed captions, so read my note.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me show you what we're gonna do. So once we've wired this, like I said, 4 half, you could do the 12-inch pipe cleaners. For me, when I was experimenting with the process, they were getting too long, they were in my way, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna snip all these down to halves, and then I ended up leaving it that way. So you can do full, this is just my way of doing it. So 4 here, 4 off to the side, 4 here, 4 in this section, 4 in this section, and I just have the little pipe cleaners open because they're actually gonna hold the deco mesh, and then 4 in the final section, making sure that you have one to the very end of each of your legs of your cross. So, simple process. I want you guys to be able to see. So I'm just gonna set this to the side. So, pick the colors you want. I like it if you alternate a light and a dark. I mean, you can do it all purple if you want, all blue if you want, but I alternated mine. The lavender color, which is currently out of stock just about everywhere, and the white wide foil, they call it laser foil. This is sold out everywhere. So I think only, you might be able to find it. There's some people on Amazon, but who wants to pay that? So whatever colors you want. I just like doing the wider foils. They look nicer. These are all cut to 10-inch pieces. You will need a total, because we had 4 pipe cleaners in each of the 6 sections. So you'll need 24 pieces of deco mesh total, 12 of the white in this case, and then 12 of the purple. So it's super simple. So as you can tell, it's not going to take a lot of deco mesh. So perfect square, 10 inches. These are cut with a wood burning tool. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take it and go corner to corner. So you're going to make it like a triangle. And you try to want to keep them as even as you possibly can. And then I take them from the point and I walk my fingers up to the point because we want to make what's called bunny ears. And then you want to fan these up so that you have bunny ears, right?
I had it zoomed in.
Sorry. I was like, oh, look, bunny ears, purple. So bunny ears. And you need them to stay this way so that they're not, you know, way too long on your cross. So you want to keep them tight. So in order to do that, you're going to have to zip tie, or you can put a pipe cleaner there. I thought I pulled these out. I guess I didn't. I'm just using the little 4-inch because all I need to do is just hold that little pinched part together. There we go. And then I'm just going to snip the end off. So I have a set of bunny ears, just like that. So they're not going to spread apart, they're not going to overlap, so they make a really nice set. So you're gonna do that for every single one of your deco mesh pieces. So doing this again, corner to corner. I try to match them up as best as I can. They're not gonna be perfect. And then from the corner, just walk straight up with your deco mesh. So it's like a butterfly. And then you're going to fold them up. So you have this little pinch part right here. So super simple.
Nina asked, could you use elastic ponytail holders that you get at Dollar Tree?
You could.
If they fit good, zip
All
ties
you
are the
need,
best.
all you need, yeah. When I did it the first time, all I did is I didn't even zip tie. I just took my deco mesh. Oops, it's kind of stuck on my flower. I took my deco mesh and just laid it right in here. But then I started thinking, it's got some movability. I would really like to make sure these don't come loose from the pipe cleaner. And then when it goes to assembling them, they're so much easier if you just have them all done in your pieces. And then you just go through and you start laying them all in. So does anyone else need me to explain how to make the little bunny ears? Bunny ears.
I think so. I kind of zoomed in on both of those when you were making them, so
Okay.
they should be good.
So I have all my pieces made. I have 2 extra pieces here, just if we had to go longer and explain. And then you're going to always start at the end and work in. The reason being is because as they lay on top of each other, it's going to be way harder to do it if you start here and try to work your way down, because then you're going to have to lift up, do your pipe cleaner, and then you're constantly lifting. So start from the bottom. So super simple. Whichever color you want to start with. I think I started with purple. So I'm going to go right up here to the top. So right where I have my little pinched part, that is where my pipe cleaner is going to hold my piece. Just like this. And you only need to put it on there, 2 or 3 times. If you want to do it all the way, go ahead and do it all the way. So there's our first piece. Right. I just fold it down because you've got the point. So you're going to take your next color. You're going to lay that, oops, on top.
Yeah, gals, I would probably not use rubber bands because they will break apart in time.
So there's this. You can even fold them down. So here's our second piece. Just like this. Go back to purple. Right on top. Okay. Kind of fan out. And don't worry about the middle. I know you guys are going to be like, I can totally see the middle. It's okay. We're going to take care of that. Finishing up this last one right here.
Melody said I have the Unique in the Creek cross frame that I'm wanting to do this with, so that's perfect. You just don't
You
need.
can definitely do that.
You just don't need as many, right? I think you said it was only.
Yeah, there's not
20
as many
pieces?
holes for that.
Right.
Yeah, I think there was 8 on the bottom, and I did 12 because I wanted it a little bit fuller. But it would be 4, 4, 4, and 8. So it'll probably end here. And it is. That would make sense because the Unique in the Creek one is only 20 inches long. So this one's a little longer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So that's what it looks like. Kind of little flames, just kind of emanating outwards.
Or bunny ears.
Or bunny ears. Well, we know they're bunny ears here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start with our purple to the outside. And I'm going to go ahead and do these 4. So exact same way. Exact same process. Right on top.
Yoli said, love watching your videos. You've taught me so much. I appreciate it. Watching from El Paso, Texas. So
This was a
thank you,
first
Liddy.
for me. This was, okay. I mean, I was thinking, well, we could bubble the cross, we could do ruffles, and I'm like, let's try to do something different. So I originally started off with the candy cane C's to try to see if that would look different, and nah, didn't like the result. This one, by the time I finished, I was like, wow, that really looks nice. And then by the time you add all your florals in, it really.
And Barbara, we checked this. She actually made almost the whole thing by herself. And
I just didn't glue anything in,
right.
And I had to take it all apart.
And then we checked it in a box, and it fits in a 24 by 24 by 6 inch box.
We did. Because that was my major thing. I was like, otherwise you have to just go, well, this is staying on my front door.
Could I probably even go 24 by 24 by 4 if they have it?
Yeah, you don't need quite as much, but who knows?
Pam Smith, how about Ziplocs?
What do you mean Ziplocs? Zip ties?
Zip ties, yeah. That's what she did.
You could zip tie it. I zip tied my pieces together, but I use this to, as you can see, I'm filling my my frame now.
And I'm kind of zooming in as you're doing it.
Okay.
Lynn, yeah, I can show you a close-up of the wreath on the door. Give me a second.
Okay. Well, we can zoom to that later.
Yeah.
So let's just, I was going to
Gail
say,
said it would be perfect for Easter. Yeah.
This is awesome for Easter.
These actually would be good for some gravestone.
Yeah, there's a couple people who
wreaths.
said they wanted to make them for their parents' gravestone, and I was like, well, this is great because you could do them in their favorite colors with their favorite flowers.
Yeah.
So, and as you can see, I just kind of pushed them out of the way. Trial and error. This is what I've been doing since 10 o'clock this morning. Figuring out what would look good, what colors would be the best colors to do.
Susan, that's a good question. Which is better, zip tie or pipe cleaner if hanging cross outside? So zip ties would probably be better if you're hanging outside.
We always zip tie all of ours because we have to put it on our security gate, and in our neighborhood, it's likely to sprout legs and leaf.
And you do want to use UV rated zip ties if it's going to be outside in direct sun. Zip ties would be a little bit hard to put in the frame though, right? To tie between the two frames.
To do that?
Yeah. So you'd still, I think, need pipe cleaners for that.
You just have to be careful because you're going to want to try to, pull the zip tie pretty tight to hold this on. So by me doing it on with the pipe cleaner part, I'm keeping my pipe cleaner closer to the middle than to the outer side, if that makes sense.
Julia said, could you please show the pieces again, like the piece that you're putting in?
So let me fan this out. Try not to stick it in my glue pot. So as you can see, I have my pipe cleaners all open and ready. So I'm just laying the pieces in, and I'm just taking my pipe cleaners, and I just have these cut small because I just didn't want them in the way.
Yeah, Barbara said she's actually done one of these, and she put a photo in the center.
There's so many different things you can do. You can put a sign in the center. You can put a bow in the center. I mean, there's a multitude of different things. Because I was like, oh, we could put a bow in it. Oh, we can put a sign in that. So there is a wide variety. These would be great to make if you're doing a local craft show, that people can take these, pick it up and go. So you don't even have to worry about shipping.
Yep, Gail, she said your favorite color. Rebecca said, what have you got in your glue and where do you get it? Oh, that's a glue skillet. They do have a new one on Amazon, right?
Yeah, and I did talk about that on my page. About they do have a 7-inch, they just call it an electric skillet that is exactly like that with a lid. I swear I did a side-by-side and I was like,
same thing.
They look virtually exactly the same.
And it was only $18?
$18.99 on Amazon.
Yeah, that's great. Had the adjustable heat thermostat on it, so yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So like I said, you could do this. I liked it in purple just because I thought of this, for Easter, purple's kind of like the color of royalty. So I did it more for like Resurrection Sunday. So that's why you'll see that the flowers I picked, I went with lilies, even though I still used roses, zinnias, poppies, and a wide variety of other florals that don't have names. They're just like things on a branch.
So I kind of recap a couple really quick because there's a couple gals. Could you please show the pieces again? She cut the deco mesh to 10 inches. She folded into a triangle, and then she kind of did the ruffle technique in the center.
I'll do it one more time.
Okay.
So just one more time. And then you'll have to just like rewind. Otherwise we'll never get through.
Yeah.
So you're taking a 10-inch piece of 10-inch deco mesh. You're going to go corner to corner. So you're going to move the top to the bottom. You're going to make it as straight and as uniform as you can. And then from the bottom, you're going to do what Steve says. You ruffle right up to the top, and then you bend it so that you get bunny ears or angel wings or whatever you want to call it.
And then you just put the zip tie.
And then you zip tie it. So it
Folded.
stays, because you need it to stay in this position. So I just use little 4-inch zip ties. And then, voila, wrong side. Then you have your piece. And then that's the pieces that I'm taking and laying inside each of the frame pieces.
Yep.
Okay, so back to purple. So as you can see, it's filling up nicely. I'm just gonna push this one.
Debbie, we just use Gorilla glue sticks in the skillet. You could throw the whole glue stick in there when it's on and it just melts it down.
That's what I did right before this.
Yep.
I think we threw like 8 glue sticks in there because I didn't realize how low I had let it get. So as you can see, I'm just pulling them and fanning them to the outside because I need that center crease, because that's going to be the channel that you lay all your florals in.
Yep, and these are the cross frames from Dollar Tree. They're hard to find right now, but Unique in the Creek also makes something like it. That's a cross.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do this technique with it. But Amazon, I think, sells the Unique in the Creek boards, but they're like $12 a piece. So that gets to be pretty pricey. So the florals are going to already drive the price up anyway. I'm just going to move these down. Depending upon what type of florals you use.
Yep, Kathy, you can use pretty much anything as long as you've got some sort of temperature setting. She's all, I use an old electric frying pan for glue.
That's exactly, yeah.
It's pretty much what these are.
Exactly.
Because they don't show glue in them when they sell them, they show food in it.
Exactly.
Like a little skillet.
So I'm working this down to the last 2. So exactly 24 pieces. So here's my last one. So see why it's necessary for you to start at the end and work your way in. It would be harder because you'd have to constantly keep lifting these up. So this is me figuring out, here's the easier way to do it.
Well, thanks, Barbara. She said the prices just came down on those Unique in the Creek crosses. So that's good.
Nice. Okay, so this is what it ends up looking like from your point of view. So you have all these little wisps kind of coming out. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take it right down the middle and then right down the side, and we're going to add all of our florals in. So the easiest way to do that is I need to make a space right in the center.
And you said, hi, I love those colors. Looks beautiful already.
I love purple and white.
Yeah, well, we know that's your favorite color.
One of them.
Purple, yeah.
One, right. Okay, so what I have are, let me show you, because we're going to be incorporating all of these. So we're going to be adding little sprigs of lavender, because it's all spring. They have this bush at Hobby Lobby. Wait till next week to go, and then these will all be 50% off. So I think this whole bush, and you can tell I've cut quite a bit of it off. This was like $7.99, so wait for the half price. Then I did, let me find them. Where are you? You can get the white lilies, and then we're also going to be using some purple lilies to blend those in, because lilies are like synonymous for Easter. Hobby Lobby. Then we needed something for the center, a very big focal point. This is where you can put a sign, you could do a bow in the center. I chose to do a bigger lily, so that's what we're putting in the middle. You could do a rose. Trying to think what else. We're going to be doing white rosebuds. This came from Craft Outlet, because Craft Outlet and the Wreath Shop are now selling florals. So they have all different color rosebuds. They also have like this purple spring. It's a zinnia poppy bush. So you've got your poppias and your zinnias. We're going to be breaking those down and using all the components in there. Oh, what else? Then Hobby Lobby sells these things. And I looked to see if they actually said what they are. It just calls it a blossom bush.
Almost looks like cornflowers, huh? Something like that.
Could be. It doesn't say. I should have went and did the picture of this app, and it would have identified the flower for me. But they have it in like this color, like lavenderish blue, and they also have it in white, which I've already broken down. So now we're going to go ahead and start adding all the florals. So I'm going to take all the ones that I've already pre-cut, and like this. I usually start at the bottom, but here's our main lily in the top. And I'm just setting that there so I know as I'm building up where I need to stop. So I am going to start with these little, I don't know what you want to call them. They're little white purple flowers on the end of all these really pretty greens. So I'm going to trim them down. And remember how we have our pipe cleaners and those pinched parts? This is what we're going to be gluing all of our florals on all the way up. So they're just going to be glued right to that stem and the pipe cleaner. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and dip this in. I got to find a part where it's not really, it's still in the process of melting down my glue.
So you're going to start on the outsides and work your way in? So
Yes, I start at the bottom and work my way up.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to do it here. And then it's kind of like how I build my grapevine wreaths, kind of in a little bit of a reverse order. Let me see. I'm trying to look at which ones did I want to add next. These ones kind of will go in further.
Oh, Debbie, that's awesome. She said, I've been watching you for a year. I just love your wreaths. I live in Ontario, California.
Really?
Yeah. We're up in Victorville, Debbie, so we're 45
we're not
minutes
that far
from
away. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay in what I like. So it's going to alternate, and this is kind of like the photo that you guys saw. It's going to alternate between sections of white florals. Then it goes purple, white, purple, white, purple. And then I kind of go back in and I just add.
It didn't seem like there was a lot of glue in that.
Yeah, there's glue.
Lolly, no, you don't have to melt new glue sticks each time. It's just when the skillet starts getting low, you just pop in 4 or 8. She tries to keep it like a third full. So, yeah.
I think my board is...
Valerie, the base is a cross frame wreath from Dollar Tree. It's the cups.
It's the cups?
On the right side.
Okay. Well, they're just going to stay there for now. No one got time for that. So I do need to move some of my glue around so I can get to the stuff that's already melted. Because ain't no one got time to wait. We'll be here way too long. So kind of just taking your time with the placement of the florals is going to make all the difference in the world. As you can see. Yeah, and I don't like to do them. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one, but I need to cut all the stems down.
So Nina, yes, Gorilla Glue will stand up to the elements outside. It'll go down to freezing and up to 100-degree plus temperatures because it's got to be like at a melting point for it to really start falling apart. So it's got to be like 350 degrees for it to really start falling apart.
Well, and you always want to ensure that these wreaths are placed under a covered door, like a porch, walkway, something. You don't want these left out in the sun to be exposed.
As much as you can, unless it's used as a cemetery headstone.
Yeah, at that point, I mean,
it'll
there's
last you
not
at
gonna be
least
anything you
6
can
good
do.
months.
It depends on the weather.
Depends on the weather, yeah.
Because we have seen some wreaths deteriorate pretty quickly.
Arlene, you can use either. You can use glue sticks and cut them up for pellets. A lot of times if we have plenty of time, we just put the full stick in there and it'll melt down pretty quick.
But it was my fault. I put a giant glob of glue in there right before we started. So because like the poppies and the lilies are on, I'm gonna move this. They're on wired stems. When I take them and put them in there where the flowers are, you have the ability to bend them and get them to face up, which is exactly what we want to do. Now I'm gonna go in, let me add a couple more of these. So I'm building those sections of white, purple, and then we're gonna come back in here. Let's add a rose. There was one. So we're into our white section.
She's literally putting the florals right on top of the deco mesh that's like bent with the zip tie.
Literally, where
Right
is
on top
it?
of the zip tie.
Right here, it's getting glued. Like I would bend that. So this is getting glue and I'm putting it right on top.
Yep.
It's not going down through the frame. Staying right on the top. So let's add, this one's a little too long. See how I'm saying these are wired so I can get them to stand up.
Right. Awesome, Anna. She said, I finished my tulip wreath, turned out perfect. Take a picture and post it to the Cats Creations group.
That would be
You guys should always
interesting to
share
see.
your photos.
Well, let's see. And I'm just kind of laying these in to see how I like them. Because you don't want to go too wide. You kind of want to just stay in that little channel. But you can lay pieces to the side and then just keep building back up. So let's take a lily. This one's a little too long.
Patty, we do overhead shots for the private group.
So there's that one.
Sometimes we'll do it for the public, yeah.
I know. I would like
not
to
a
be
big
able
glue
to
thing,
just
huh?
do it, well, because I can't
Yeah.
really show you what I'm doing because I want you guys to be able to see. Can you move that forward and then dip it down?
I can, but then it won't be on you. You'll get it. You'll get cut off.
You don't need to see me. I'll have Steve do that while I'm kind of pulling my florals together. So looking for purples. You can sneeze. He's like trying really hard not to sneeze on you guys. So,
Okay. They
so
can see
can
for
you
the most part.
see?
Yeah, I
better?
mean, yeah, they can see better. They can see down further
Okay.
into it.
So I'm just working that whole channel all the way down. So I'm back into my purple florals. Just like this. And we'll add some more purple tiger lilies to the side. Just right in the channel. All I'm doing is working in that little spot. Let's go here.
A couple guys asked what would be the price point on this.
Based on the finished size with the florals, this one's gonna be, I think I have it priced at $97. Because florals, sad to say, are on the pricey side. Okay. go ahead and there's just some like little pieces where I'm just looking at things going, oh, a little pop of white would look good there. And we will continue. So we've had purple, so now I'm gonna go white. So I'm gonna do a lily again, right in here. And then we'll add some little baby roses. I have like little baby cream and white roses. So we're gonna add this right in here.
So she's literally using the Deco mesh as kind of like netting for the glue.
This is like the base for all my florals. Let's add a little pop of whatever this little white bush is. So this way it's taking and framing that flower. Now we go back to purple. We will use this poppy.
Is the glue hot enough?
Yeah, it's there. So I always want to make sure my floral is facing up. Oh.
Yeah.
See, when I did it, I wasn't gluing. I was just kind of randomly spacing. So let's add these little pops of greenery.
Georgette, yes, it's a cross. It's a Easter Cross Wreath, or door hanging, or.
See, it's right at the melting point.
Let me turn it up just a little bit.
There you go. Okay, so let's check with our lily, because that one's right in the center. We have a little ways to go before we get to the center, so I have this much space to kind of play with. So let's add another white rose in here. There we go. Let's see, what else do I want to put in there?
Kathleen, I would suggest just practice. She said, what do you suggest for someone who can't do a floral arrangements worth a darn?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Just practice.
Look, all I'm doing is I'm just adding things to the florals, like what I like. I'm
staggering
spacing
colors. Yep.
big, littles, smalls. I mean, I'll come back and we'll add sprigs of lavender that, will create some movement in the florals. Okay. Let me add another little white lily to this side. This is the kind of fun part by creating this, and with all those various different shades of green, you're getting a lot of different tones to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this right underneath my rose, just to kind of frame that and get ready for more. But I think I'm gonna do a zinnia right here. So I'm gonna kind of just stick this right in here.
Barbara, we're kind of in lockdown in California. I mean, a lot of the restaurants and stuff are still closed. We're
locked down.
We're really told not to go out too much if we don't need to.
Down.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add this so I can go ahead and, this is actually going to go kind of in the middle. And then I'll go through and I'll trim that on the other side once it sets to the frame. So that's the only thing that's going down to the bottom of the mat. And then I'll trim that end of the piece. What are you looking at? It's to the mat right there.
I know.
I will trim that once it sets to the frame.
Okay.
Because Steve's like, what did you just do? Calmness.
Tiffany, it is a wire cross frame from Dollar Tree. Yep.
I know what I'm
But you
doing.
could use the Unique in the Creek frame as well.
Okay, let's come in and add a little bit of that. So let me show you what it looks like so far. Oops, there's my extra piece. So this is what we've built so far right down that channel. So all those florals.
Yep.
Right?
Got it.
Okay. So now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna readjust my deco mesh so that they're laying where they need to be. Like this one, as we get closer to the center. Okay, everybody is stacked where they're supposed to, and I'm doing the same thing. So working my way in, or from the outer side, I'm gonna use my little, the same thing I use down here, whatever it is, little bush. So that goes right on top of the purple, so that it's between the purple and the white coming out. And then we're gonna add a purple lily to it.
Rosie said, hi from Orange County. Love your work. Thank you, Rosie. We're up in Victorville, so also not too far away.
Yeah, definitely not far away.
Nancy, the deco mesh is a 10-inch deco mesh, and it's also cut to 10 inches. And there's 24 pieces total, so 12 of each color.
So I'm gonna do the same thing with my rose. I'm gonna bend it so it stays up, but so that I can glue it along the edge of my deco mesh here. And I'm not so worried that, oh, well, there's some more stuff that you need to surround it with. I will. So I'm gonna go in and do lilies on the front. Do another one. This is me just kind of creating my own look, my own pick. You might be able to find florals that are already done, and then you would just cut them and lay them in where you want them to be. I just prefer to like take little pieces and just add them wherever I want. So these are kind of like a little purple berry. And we'll take one of our poppies.
Diana, I'm pretty sure she does. You could find it on YouTube. You could find it on her Kat's Creations page. You probably just have to search for wood burning tutorial. But yeah, she's done several before in the past.
Look up the April showers wreath. That's where I demoed the the wood burning technique.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna take these because I'm still playing in that purple palette. And we'll go ahead and add another one.
Peggy, that's awesome if you guys have husbands that can do that. She said, my husband made me a cross frame using a hardware cloth.
What is that?
It's kind of like a steel mesh, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I have not heard of that before. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these. Let's cut this down. I need purple next to that. The lily to pop. So I'm just going to lift the leaf up. And I'm just going to lay this in here. Because I needed to get underneath the lily.
Yeah.
There we go. So that...
Jan said, I
now-
like this one. I've done one with tulips, but I love it with the mesh and flowers.
Yeah, so do I. This was like so much fun because it's like when I had it, Steve was like, oh, you finished? And I said, no, I'll be taking the whole thing apart. The whole thing apart because I need to show him how to build it from the ground up.
Right.
Okay, so I need my little picklets.
Peggy said it's also called hail screen. Yep.
Okay, so we're pushing. We need to make sure all these go up. Everything goes up, but not so hard that it comes off. But I need just this little end, because the ends become my ends.
Rosalind, right? She said beautiful to put in a church. So it would be beautiful.
This
to put
would
in a
really
church.
look nice, yeah. Like even on your pastor's podium, like at the front of the podium, just to have that there.
Yeah, especially
That
for
would
Easter.
look really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make them something nice and then it looks great. They don't have to worry about like, oh, yeah, we're gonna have to refrigerate that at night because it won't look good. It's only like a one use.
Tracy, yeah, correct. She said sometimes Dollar Tree has florals that are pretty nice to use as filler
They do.
around your main flowers. Yeah, you are correct. Their flowers have been better over the
good.
last year.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let me move this. I take some more of these off. So I
And you
like
said
these
that
little,
is very pretty. Thank you, Linda.
the little fillers. So I'm trying to keep them somewhat as symmetrical as I can for the sides. I'm not so much worried about that on the top and the bottom, but like the sides going forward, I'm trying to match those. So looking for a prettier.
Thank you, gals, for putting all the likes out there and share it or sprinkle it.
You can share it.
Gail said the same thing. Make sure you can share the page to your own page.
It makes it it's so much easier to find it on your page than be like, oh, when did she do that wreath? And you have to dig through everything that gets posted to the page. Okay, so we're going back to our rose.
And Judith, yeah, there's 2 colors of mesh. Kat decided to use purple and white, but you could use pink, you could use blue, you could use yellow.
You can use peach.
For this design, for the wire Dollar Tree frame, it's 24 pieces, and it's 10-inch mesh cut to 10 inches.
So you need 12 of each color.
Yep.
Okay, so we've added our rose with our leaves, and see, I'm constantly checking to see what's on the other side.
So the same, if you got 24 pieces, you would need 24 pipe cleaners.
Yep. Or 12 cut in half.
Or 12 cut in half, right.
Just depends on how you want to do it. Wow.
Sandra, that would look great at your mom's door in the nursing home. We had angels like this, similar on my mom's nursing home.
That would look really super pretty.
Yeah. Just have them get a door hanger, and you can just put a loop in the back of it. And
So this is for that. I'm looking and seeing, okay, well, what else do I have around this? Was all my white florals like lilies. So I'm gonna come in here and pop my lilies because I have 2 of them.
Georgetta, she said that's very pretty. Looks like mine, but cheated ruffles. Interesting.
Yeah, I just decided to do something just a little bit different. I guess like call them bunny ears. That's like the easiest way.
Yeah.
Because I wanted something just a little different.
It's kind of what we used, wasn't it? Kind of similar when we do like the sunflower wreath and stuff like that.
So I'm gonna cut this one down because now this is gonna nestle right next to that lily. So I'm just gonna lift this up so I can get my flower situated in there. There we go.
No problem, Tracy. We totally understand. She said was going to join the paid group in last March, and then the evil of viruses caused me to get laid off. Hopefully, we'll be able to join this year. No problem. We understand.
We
Family
totally
and-
and completely.
Family
Get
and
that.
income takes first priority.
I'm going to let's put this one right in here. So I'm just coming around that lily and adding some other touches of floral. What? So this is kind of what we have so far. So we're just building up to the top now. I'm just double checking that I have everything a little bit. They're about as even as I can get. Okay. So now we'll work the top. So again, taking all your floral, pushing everything up. There we go. And we will work backwards. I always work towards the center. So I pick these ones just because they fan really nicely.
Irene asked, so how long is the cross frame from Dollar Tree? You had said it's 24 by 12, or is it
24-12.
24 by 12.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the Unique and the Creek are only like 20 by 12, right? Or 20 by...
I don't know what the
something like
dimensions are. I know they're only 20.
Right.
I was like, oh, that would be nice. Because then you can build them exactly to specs. So I'm just coming in with that little filler bush piece that's like that. It's like a silvery purple blue.
Mm-hmm.
Just laying those in. And then we'll add some.
Linda, this is a Dollar Tree cross frame. That's it, metal frame.
We'll do some poppies. Sometimes the, so if you see why I'm cutting some of my picks down, a lot of times the flowers stick up on ends that would just stick out way too far.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use, like, once I pull this off, you can trim all these down and use them individually just to add some pops of white in here. I just prefer to kind of, it's almost like I'm making everything from scratch. So we have those little baby flowers. We will need another rose. We will need another one of these. So, and then we will need more lilies. So now we're gonna go in, I think I'm gonna go in with my rose right now.
Teresa, there's someone in a pattern, she tries to go colors and then whites and then colors and white, but they're not any specific pattern.
I'm just literally, like I'm doing them groupings, like purple, white, purple, white, purple, white, and I'm just moving them down. And then I'll add similar colors. So like the rose will add some lilies to that.
And she's just setting it right on top of the deco mesh. It acts as like a net. And it holds the glue.
Thanks for doing that. I know I keep trying to.
Yeah, and then we'll go back and clean up all the little glue threads off and use the heat gun or whatever.
You mean the blow dryer?
Blow dryer, yeah.
Yeah. So blow dryer will help, but just pulling the glue threads off, you can throw it back in your glue skillet and let it remelt.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, I'm just working in that white band of colors.
Mm-hmm. Linda, she gets most of her florals from Hobby Lobby.
Michael's.
And Michael's, yeah.
Although this year I've gotten quite a bit of them from Craft Outlet.
That's true.
I really have. Because Craft Outlet started carrying florals and I was like, let's try that. Okay. So, let's see. Do I have one more?
Douglas, that's a good question. He said, how much money do you have invested in the whole cross as far as material?
Not that much, because look, here's all the florals I bought. So you can see, I really haven't invested that much. I'm just pulling
you have to buy the whole bunch to
yeah,
in order
you
to
have
use
to.
it.
But look, I use these for all my spring florals.
Yeah.
So I think today I spent like $30 in florals because I needed the lily, and that was probably the most. It was $5.99, but when I went to Hobby Lobby today, it wasn't 50% off day.
Right.
So it was use your 40% off coupon kind of day. So that's exactly what I had to do.
So $30, but she's really only used a fraction of that, maybe
And
5.
to be honest, I only charge what I use. I don't go, well, if you wanted to recreate this, you would have to spend, you know, $70, $80 to have all the floral blends. But you would have enough to probably do 7, 8, maybe more crosses. So I try to just portion them out into exactly what I've used. So you can see all the ones I've cut.
Tracy, our skillet doesn't really have a temperature settings on it other than like quarter, half, 3/4, and full.
Yeah.
We keep it
It's
right
like a
around
gas tank.
We keep it right around 3/4, right?
It literally is like a gas tank.
Right, and then we just adjust up and down off of the 3/4 depending upon how hot, or if it's too hot, we turn it down a little bit.
So I'm really looking. I was looking to see if I had. And I don't think I do. I have one more poppy, and I have this.
Yeah, Craft Outlet, Rita has some pretty nice florals.
They really do. I was pleasantly surprised. So I'm gonna look at this and see how I like it in here. Off to the side. And maybe add a touch of a lily there. Let me look. I'm just constantly checking. I'm like, do I want to add that? So I think I will. I'll finish this up because it's the last piece I have of this bunch. So I'm going to tuck this under, kind of move it off to the side because the way the lily is sprayed, I don't want to push these up and have things hidden underneath. There we go. And then
I'm showing them the glue skillet. So you can kind of see the glue skillet. It's just got melted glue in it. Gorilla glue sticks that you just throw in there and melt down. And there's a couple asking, what's a skillet? A glue pot.
basically, yeah. Okay. So now I'm just kind of coming in with little filler flowers, like little baby roses to fill that space. And then now, let me take all these little pieces of picks that I've cut down that are everywhere. So now what I like to do is take the little sprigs of lavender and just add these to give it some movement and dimension. So I've taken the lavender bush and I just cut the tips off.
Remember, I'm zoomed in, so.
Okay. Where are you at?
I mean, yeah, I can see you up here.
Okay. Let me move these over. So if you want to zoom out a bit, this is what I was telling Steve that I've been taking. So here's my lavender bush. You can get that at Hobby Lobby. I want to say it's like $15. So all I'm doing is cutting the tips off of the lavender. And just adding these to the arrangement. So these are the details, right? These are the little things that really make your arrangement different.
Evelyn, yep, you sure can. That's part of the reason why she made this. This is for Easter wreath or for a funeral or cemetery or nursing home, church.
Mm-hmm. I like totally. What?
No, you got a lot of glue in your hand. Good old glue.
Okay, go under the poppy. There we go. So I'll add another one to this side. And actually, this lavender bush is left over from my youngest daughter's wedding, which was 2 years ago. So saving your florals and then just building them by color allows you to kind of pick and choose. You know, do you want to come back in? Do you want to add little touches of mini roses? Dabbling in your colors. So let me take a couple of these. I feel like I'm out trimming my lavender. So that's basically what we do. So I'll do these here as well. So kind of just adding them here and there.
Pauline, yeah, I don't think the crosses have come out yet for Dollar Tree, so just keep checking. You could try online as well.
There isn't any online at Dollar Tree. So I've looked right now with the item number. So Dollar Tree doesn't have them out yet. I don't know if it's still too early. It's only January.
Yeah.
So just keep checking. I keep trying to keep the majority of that contained, and it never fails.
Linda, how do you know which florals to use for your project?
I just start cutting them and just like what I did before we went live is I just started cutting. You know, I knew we needed a focal point flower. I was debating whether or not to put a sign here, whether to put a really nice bow here. And I thought, you know what, let's put a really nice lily right in the center.
And it's basically just your preference.
And then fan out, right.
Yeah, it's your preference.
You can put a really nice sign like, I'm trying to think of the ones that I've seen for Easter. He is risen indeed, I think is one I've seen.
Like some gal said, you could use a photo for the center.
You could put a photo in the center. Yeah, if you're doing it as, like I know one of our group members is making one of these for her parents' grave for Easter. So she's like, this came at just the perfect opportunity for me to do this. So let me cut a couple more and then we'll evaluate and see, do we need to add some more pieces or are we done?
Valerie, yeah, we went and bought a lot of the florals for the wedding. Not as much as like for the bride's groom, for the bride's, you know, florals that she carries, but for the trellis that was around and the tables, yeah, we had florals for all that.
The nice thing about doing I hate saying artificial. There's a different word for that, and I forget how they term that. They don't attract bees and stuff at a wedding because they're not real. So there's no fragrance. Color maybe, but no fragrance.
And anything, depending upon what season you're going to put them out in, you know, they're only going to hold up for so long. You know, they are pretty sturdy, but they'll still only hold up for so long in the sun and the weather.
Okay, got that one. Got that one, that one. I'm just kind of looking and checking. Let me add a couple of... I want a little bit more pop. And I'm always checking because sometimes the ends aren't, or the flowers aren't to my liking. So I'm just popping a little bit more of royal purple. The big cross. Glad I turned it around because there's like area where it needs some love. something small and white.
Tracy, yeah, you certainly could use UV spray and spray everything down with the UV spray. That'll help it to last a little bit longer.
Direct sunlight is always going to be a killer on anything.
Yep.
Okay, I think we are done. Let me snap a couple of these. I just have these like little small white flowers, so I'm just kind of setting these in. Okay, I think we are done. So I'll show you what this looks like up on the door. So I'm gonna make sure I got all the glue off and that you've got your little fans or your mesh all laying in the same direction.
Pauline, yeah, as soon as we're done, this will post onto her regular group, and then you can watch the replay and watch how she
started it
and used the mesh and all that. I'll get that.
Okay, so here's like how I was telling you, I just had that one floral. So if you look, there's no floral coming out the back of the wreath at all, except for my center one. So this is what I will do. And now it's flush with the door. Let me just do this. This was me. Okay. Let me pull this one down. This here. And then show you how this lays on our door.
Yep.
So, just like that. Ta-da! I'm like, oh, there's a couple pieces. Like here I see. But what do you guys think? I see all my glue.
Yeah.
And we're all done. That's it.
Give it lots of likes and loves.
Short, sweet, and simple. So, like I said, wide variety of different things. If you didn't want to use a lily, because this is where I had started, watch, I'm going to do this. You could pop a rose in the center, and you can do a rose over that. It's entirely up to you. You can make a bow and not have your flowers go as far in to the center. You can put a small sign on there. Somebody else suggested you could put a picture in a frame, but you can do it in any color you want. So I think that's it. So for those of you that don't know, I do have a private group that is $17 a month for now. It's half business class, half design academy. We just started it over again as a refresher course in January. So this Sunday we're doing color theory. So like a lot of you asked me, how do you know what flowers to put together in your design? That would be covered in the color theory class. It helps you to understand why it's such a challenge sometimes as a designer to take a sign and your mesh and your ribbon and get it all to coordinate. So we're going to cover all of that. And then on Monday, we are covering from our business perspective, how do you find your ideal customer? Because everyone's customer is a little bit different. And so we're going to focus on that exercise on Monday. And what that does is it helps you understand, how do you go find them? Where are they at? Because everybody's at home right now with lockdowns. Where are they spending their time on social media? How do your posts need to be formatted to appeal to the customers you're selling to? So that's a new class we're starting this year. So to sign up, you can either do it two ways. You can do monthly or yearly. If you sign up yearly, you get 2 months free. So both of those are available on the website, where I dropped my little placard.
I've got it pinned. Yep.
Okay, Steve's got it pinned. So you can send it to both of those on that website. And then If you're interested in purchasing this, it's on my website, so it's not on my Etsy shop. So website, if you want to purchase it, if you would like to order one in totally different colors, I am totally open to doing that. Just reach out to me and let me know.
Yep.
Otherwise,
You should be able to just click on the pinned link at the bottom where it says www.KatsCreationsNMore.com. Yep.
That's just it. And then from there you'll see the yearly one is right at the top. The monthly one you have to scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and then you'll see that one.
Read us at what time and days?
Sundays at 3 p.m. Pacific, so that's 5 p.m. Central and 6 p.m. Eastern, thank you. And then on Mondays it's 5 p.m. So just like now it's 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern time. So, and then if you're not able to make those, the replays are always available for as long as you're in the group. So if you get around to this, not right now, maybe in a couple months, you can still watch the replay. So that's pretty much it.
Lynn asked if you could just grab the other wreath really quick and just show the other one. She said she wanted to see it.
Okay. So this is our grapevine. So it's done pretty much exactly the same way that we did our florals. So this is incorporating a sign, your bow, and then this is made with purple tulips, purple or lavender roses,
Pink.
Yes, pink roses, purple ranunculus, lavender ranunculus, lilies, and lavender and lilac. So,
yep.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me today, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great night, everyone.